Tips on how to survive wild animal attacks. If you are not very good at camping, it is harder to survive from a wildlife attack. Almost all wildlife is dangerous to people. As far we know, the statistics indicate snakes causes a higher number of death in the world. So please sit back and watch our video on surviving wild animal attacks tips. If you like the video, subscribe and press the bell icon for a future video. Also, don't forget to click subscribe. Number 1. Bison. If you spot bison near you, run for cover near you. The bison might look slow, but believe me, they're not. Hide behind the larger object and keep moving far away from bison without seen by bison. Bison doesn't want you to eat you, but it annoyed by your presence. It is better to keep distances from bison. If you don't find a cave or large object, climb the tree next to you. Number 2. Elk and deer. If see any wildlife animal, do not turn your back, as they almost always charge from behind. When you facing the animal, raise your arms and your jacket to make yourself appear larger. Swing the coat around to make yourself appear formidable. If you have a dog with you, turn it loose, and that might distract the deer or elk. If you are knocked down, curl up in a fetal position to protect your head, neck and organs. You might be thumped a few times, and then it is likely the animal will leave. If the animal has antlers, you might sustain serious injuries, so do your best to put trees or boulders between you and the animal. Always it is better to climb a tree. Number 3. Moose. Once you see moose, don't approach. Stay clear of a calf and cow. That combination is hazardous. If a moose approaches you, it is not trying to be your friend. It is trying to warn you. If the moose lays ears back and raises the hair on its shoulder hump, stomps the ground or swings its head in your direction, it is preparing for an attack. Get as much space between you and the moose as possible. Unlike with a bear or cougar, you can run from a moose without triggering an attack. The moose likely won't chase you very far. Get behind a large tree or other obstacle and keep it between you and the moose. If the moose knocks you down, curl up in a ball to protect against the kicks and stomps. Don't try to get up until after the moose moves away, or it will renew its attack. Number 4. Pack wolves or coyotes. Don't run, because that might trigger an attack. You can't outrun these animals, as they can hit speed above 30 miles per hour. Yell at the animal to make it back off. These animals often run in packs and engage in coordinated attacks. If you're surrounded and you're alone, it's time to start shooting to kill, or you'll end up on the dinner plate. Do not lose your footing. Once you go down, the pack will rush in and rip you apart. If you are surrounded and are in a group, position yourselves back to back, facing the animals. Use clubs, knives, sharpened sticks, spears, rocks, or anything else you can grab to fend off the attack. Number 5. Cougar. Stop and stand tall. Do not run. Try to appear larger than the cougar. Never take your eyes off the animal or turn your back. Do not crouch down or try to hide. If the animal displays aggressive behavior, shout, wave your arms and throw rocks. If the cougar attacks, stay on your feet. If you go down, you're in trouble. Fight back aggressively with anything you can get your hands on: knife, club, backpack, rocks, etc. Gouge your fingers into the cat's eyes. Fight for your life with as much violence as you can muster. Number 6. Polar bear. Life is tough for polar bears, and they're always actively looking for their next meal. If you happen along and cannot protect yourself, they will take advantage of the situation. In some circumstances, a polar bear will stalk until it can sneak up on its victim. When a polar bear becomes agitated, it will snap its jaws and make a loud huffing noise, stare directly at you, lower its head and press ears back against the side of its head. Sometimes, they might stamp their feet. What to do if a polar bear charges? It won't be a bluff, so consider it a serious attack intent on doing damage. Making a lot of noise, especially by a group of people, might drive the bear away. If that fails, use whatever deterrent and/or weapons you have at hand. Number 7. Grizzly attack. When you spot grizzly bear, remain calm, back away slowly while speaking in a calm voice. You are trying to show the bear that you are being submissive and yielding to his territorial supremacy. Do not turn your back on the bear or run, that will stimulate an attack. Avoid direct eye contact because that is considered an act of aggression. A grizzly might bluff charge, or not. If it lowers its head and pins ears back, it's coming. Submit. Lie face down on the ground, cover your head with your arms and hands and play as dead as possible. You might be bit or clawed, and then the bear might leave, or not. If the bear continues to maul you, in spite of your playing dead, an indication that it wants you for food, you might have to fight for your life using any available weapon, knife, stick, rock, fingernails, focusing your counterattack on the bear's eyes and nose with as much violence as you can muster. Number 8. How to survive a shark attack. The good news is that out of 150 species of sharks existing on Earth, only 20 attack humans. Most of them just don't perceive you as food. So, if not something tasty, what good are you? Now, down to the bad news: if a shark gets interested in you, it will be tough to break away. To not attract sharks, prevent blood or urine from getting into the water. Sharks can smell these at a distance of several miles. If you do meet face to face, especially don't try to escape in a panic. You will look like prey this way. Move slowly. If you have been caught, aim at the eyes and gills. These zones are the most sensitive. Number 9. How to survive a snake's attack. Most snakes are neither dangerous nor poisonous. People get 80% of their bites trying to catch this reptile. If you notice that a snake is following you, stomp your feet. The vibrations will confuse the snake, and it will let you be. If you have been bitten, don't try to suck the poison out from the wound as they do in the movies. Better to wash the bite with running water, apply a tourniquet, and call an emergency. Number 10. How to survive a lion attack. If you have encountered a lion, maintain eye contact, don't turn your back, and don't move your eyes away. It will give the predator the time to attack. Try to look more massive. To create such an impression, lift your arms and jack it up. If you look big and threatening, the animal will try to avoid the encounter. Speak to the lion in a reasonably loud and confident voice. Make sounds, and gesticulate. Such a behavior isn't typical for a victim. This way you will baffle the predator, so it will perceive you as an irritating presence, which is better to stay away from. Number 11. How to survive an elephant's attack. Elephants are clever and quite friendly animals, but they are known to attack people. It is especially true about female elephant mothers, if they decide that you are dangerous for their babies. If you come across an elephant, pay attention to their body language. If their trunk is curled and the ears are pulled back, it means they are going to crush you. If the animal approaches, don't run. Try to find something to become a barrier between you and the elephant. It can be a stone or a tree. Number 12. How to survive a rhinoceros's attack. Rhinoceroses have bad eyesight. That's why it is easy to frighten them and provoke them to attack. These animals' speed can reach 37 miles per hour. This is the reason it is really hard to outrun them. Hard, but not impossible. The only way to escape from the rhinoceros is to hide behind the tree. It is a substantial obstacle for the animal. Also, it won't follow you through the bushes or high grass. Number 13. How to survive a kangaroo attack. Yes, surprisingly, a kangaroo can pose a threat to a person. However, it will only happen if you enter its territory and the animal feels danger. To avoid a conflict, do the following. Cough. Your coughs should be short and quiet. The kangaroo will consider it a sign of a disease and, most likely, won't attack you. Slowly back away. This way you will look smaller, therefore less dangerous. Don't turn away and run. It will only provoke the animal. Remember that kangaroos are perfect jumpers. It will catch up with you in a few moments.